Hello and welcome to the Gemhawks YouTube channel. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. For the free wire tutorial here on YouTube today, I'd like to share with you my Celtic Inspired Dragonfly Pendant. Now this is based on a piece of jewellery that a very dear friend of mine's partner gave to me after her passing. So this is Val's Dragonfly really. But let's head down to the board, we'll take a closer look at it and then we'll make one together. I've created a veritable flight of these dragonflies and I really enjoy the process. It's actually not as difficult as it might seem, and what I've done to try and get all of the wings to be the same size is the first thing that I would do is just start off by creating a little stunt wing. You don't have to get it exactly the same, but it will give you an opportunity to just get a basic measure of your design. I have in the past created this design with a heavier wire, a 1.25 or 16 gauge wire, but today we're working with 1mm or 18 gauge wire. I'm working with raw copper because it's really receptive. Now in my hand I have a 15-inch length, which will create a reasonably sized dragonfly. These are great for wearing as pendants. It's too big really for an earring, though you could size that down. And if you wanted it for wall art, you might like to size that up. But my piece of wire is 15 inches. Now I'm just going to warm through the central section to begin with. Just making that nice and fluid. I'm going to find the centre point. It doesn't really matter if it's not completely exact, but approximately halfway along. And I'm just going to fold that wire down in the middle. Now I'm looking to use my thumbs to create the arc shapes. So I'll do one side and then I will flip that over and just try to repeat on the other side. Now if you struggle with that at all, you can just kind of open the wire up and ask it to do those bends. Or you can manually form by gripping the base of that little bend. Let's flip that over again, much better with my right hand. And then just pull that around. So we're looking for basically a marquise shape down at the base. Now at the moment, the wire that started on the right has gone over the top to the left. So I'm going to repeat that with the wire that's starting on the right going over the top again. And in that way, the bottom section is twisted and it's much less likely to come undone in wear. So I'm going to start by forming that around in an arc shape. You could use a tool if you prefer. And as you can see, I'm just slightly elevating it to ensure when I bring the other wire across that it goes underneath. Now I'm trying to have two marquise-ish shapes that are basically the same. But it doesn't really matter if they're not completely identical. We're just kind of looking for a hint of a shape. Now you can take a moment just to open that up if it's not to your tastes. Just making sure that you're happy with how that all sits. The main thing is we're looking for it to be reasonably symmetrical. Now I'm going to start off with the first wing now. And what I'm going to do is use my thumb just to generate a little bit of heat and warmth to generate the top of that arc shape. This is why wire workers tended to have fairly ragged thumbnails. So if I just hold that into position over the top, my little stunt wing, and I'm looking to have that central post basically centralised on the design. So I can see that I need to just bring that down ever so slightly to make it sit the same. Hold that into position. That looks good. And then because the form is over the top, when I grip the wire I'm working on, I can simply take away the other piece, making sure that I don't lose the position. What I'm going to do now is bring that wire, first of all, down and away. Now, if you look at the central part of the design, the wire I'm holding is underneath of the two wires that are crossing over. So I'm going to take the tail of wire around underneath as well. So to achieve the same arc again, you can just switch everything around and use your thumb. But what I'm going to do is just use the fluidity and warmth of the wire to bring that back in. So you may need to just tweak that position at the end to try and get that beautiful marquise shape again. So it's a series of marquise shapes. Now I would like that tip to be just a little bit sharper. So what I'm going to do is take that more closed up and then open it back out again, making sure that that crosses over, and then I might just give that a squish on the other side. So I want to repeat this on the second side. So what I'm going to do is just flip this over. Now the wire we've just worked on, I'm going to just bring that up slightly and out of the way so I can see what I'm working with. So we've now got to work on this particular wire. So I'm going to start by just smoothing and warming that through. And what I'm looking to do is to get a wing that is the same size. So again, you may need to take a second just to make sure that the lower body of your dragonfly has stayed straight. I'm going to offer up the form that I've created on top, and I'm going to bring that top of the wing down just slightly, pinching that into position. And then I'm going to grip like so, which will allow me to just take away that wing form. So again, the wire has been flipped over, the whole form has been flipped over. So my wire that I'm working on right now is underneath, so I'm going to take the wire back round underneath. And again, I've worked with the warmth of that wire to generate that beautiful marquise shape. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a tweak until it sits how I want it to. And if you want to sharpen up the tips of those wings, you can kind of close it and open it up a little bit. Now the next segment is really just a case of making sure that you're happy that those are equal and opposite to each other. So do spend a couple of moments just making fine refinements to make sure that you're happy that those wings are identical. As you can imagine, the more time you spend on making those small refinements, the happier you will be with your final project. So do just take a couple of minutes to make sure that all of your angles match up, that the wings are in fact the same size, and then we'll move on to making the upper pair of wings and continue with our tutorial. So the next thing I'm going to do is to just tilt these wings down ever so slightly, and you can see where this wing comes away from the body is where I'm going to grip with my pliers, and I'm just going to very softly manoeuvre that down ever so slightly, and I'll do exactly the same on the other side, but because we're upside down I'll be moving it up slightly, just trying to keep that as symmetrical as possible. So let's flip that back over. So again, I'm looking to warm through the tails of wires as we make that upper wing. Now you can make the upper wing slightly longer if you want to. It's all artistic license. It's not based on any real dragonfly. I'm not an entomologist, I believe the term is. So it doesn't have to be anatomically correct. So let's grab in our stunt wing again. And what we're going to do is start with the one on the right. Let's get that nice and toasty warm, and we'll just start creating a curve downwards and outwards. So here we go, just make that lovely and soft. If it helps you in any way, you can flip over to the other side and start by creating the similar curve, whichever way makes you feel most comfortable. So let's just bring that all together. And then we will offer in our stunt wing. Now this time we're going to need to hold that in a slightly different fashion. So I'm holding the straight up line at the bottom of my stunt wing between the wing and the body, just so that we can get a nice angle on there. And again, I want to hold that stunt wing on top of the wire I'm working with to give me an idea of where we can make that first bend. So I can see that I need to bring this up slightly and make that curve just a little bit higher up. Let's bring that stunt wing back in. Again, the straight down line is between the body and the lower wing. And I can see that although I've got a little bit of work to do on that arcing shape, I can see where I need to bend that wire back down again. So this time what I'm going to do is bring the wire from on the top. You can see the pass of wire is all the way over the top. I want to take this underneath this time, and that's so that I can tie everything together and make sure that it holds in one go. So again, I'm just going to make sure that I haven't made that wing too short. Now it looks like I have made that a tiny bit short, which is really good because it means I can show you how you can fix that. Because I'm working with beautiful raw copper, if this bend is too close to the body, I can simply pop my pliers over that bend, draw that back out to straight, move those pliers along a little bit, pop your stunt wing back into position, make that measurement, and then hold, eye it up carefully. You could use a marker pen, making sure that the tail of the wire goes around underneath if your wire is over the top. We just want to tie everything together. So I'm going to start bringing that back all the way around. And in a moment, I'll flip the design over and do the exact same thing. So let's just bring that wire all the way through. And then we'll have a look again at that stunt wing. You could go for a larger wing at the top if you wanted to. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm happy with that bend. And then I'm going to ensure that the tail of wire very, very softly bring that up the centre of that body line. So what I'm going to do now is the exact same thing on the far side, and then I'll join you back in just a second. Once you're happy with the overall shape of those two sets of wings, what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of work hardening with a chasing hammer and steel block, but you could simply open and close your pliers flat over those surfaces if you do want to apply a little bit of work hardening as well. If you do plan on work hardening this design, do make sure that you don't strike down anywhere where wires cross over, like that central section or the tail of the body. What I'm going to do is just hold the two wing sections over the surface of the block, and then in that way I'm making sure that I'm not striking down on any wires that cross over. I think it adds a nice shine to the design. You can obviously polish that if you want to, or you can hammer it a little bit further if you desire. What we're going to do now is work on the central upper section. So I have a wire sticking up here. Now this is currently on top, and what I want to do is just put a little bit of warmth into that tail of wire and draw it gently down and across in a small arc, and then exactly the opposite on the other side. So you can pinch that body section together, put a little bit of warmth into the wire, and then curve it around. So it's just a very, very subtle little twist in the wire. I very rarely work with twisted wires because I think that it weakens the wire, but with this design I think it just gives a nice little touch to the top of that body segment. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring the two tails of wire to an upright so that they are sitting next to each other. And once I'm happy with how everything else is sitting, I'll just pinch that firmly together and trim that wire to around about 12 millimeters or so. What we're going to do then is bring in your round form of choice to make a small loop shape. Now I think probably number 2 on my bail makers might be the right one, so I'm just going to grip them both and draw them over the back. Now what I'm going to do is flip it over, because you'll always find that one side is closer to the box joint and that will be slightly more curved, so you might need to just go in one at a time to finalize that loop to get them to sit side by side. You can also just tweak them. Now it's not completely closed up because I'm now going to attach this to a bail. You could leave your wires much longer and go for a wrapped loop if you wanted this to be very, very sturdy, but I'm going for quite a gentle design. So you could create a double wrapped loop at right angles and attach your design on. But what I'm going to do to add to the kind of Celtic feeling to it is add it into a triquetra, as I have done with my other designs. And I'll pop a link up both in the description and on screen now to my triquetra design, so you can check that out and you can make a mini one for yourself. So let's just loop those through the tiny gap that's in the very centre. So both are hooking through the middle point, as you can see on this design here, and then it's just a case of closing those loops up. So I haven't made a complete loop with those bail making pliers, just because it gives me an opportunity to close these up manually so that I can get them to sit equal and opposite. I do like a little bit of symmetry in this one. So you can see I need just to do a little bit of work to make this sit flat. And once you've completely closed up those loops, then your pendant will be ready to wear. Now, as I said, you could go for a completely wrapped loop if you prefer, but it does just take a couple of moments to get those bits and bobs to sit perfectly. So just push that down until it completely closes up. So there is your Celtic Inspired. It's not completely Celtic, but it's what it made me think of when I saw the piece of jewellery this morning. So here we have the Dragonfly Pendant. Again, I'll pop a link for the Triquetra design into the video description, so you can check that out if you want to make one. Or you could simply add it to a wrapped loop up at the top if you prefer. Now, I don't normally use a simple loop in any of my pendant jewellery. I sometimes use it in earrings, but not usually in pendants. So this is kind of a special occasion where not really the sort of jewellery you'd wear if somebody was going to grab hold of it and pull it away because it might damage it. But for wall art as well, it's absolutely fine. So I hope that you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again on the Gemhawks YouTube channel. Do please consider leaving a subscription on the channel. I generally upload a video with wirework jewellery once a week on Tuesdays. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.